Well, meanwhile, in the occupied West Bank, at least 4 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli raids overnight. The Israeli military stormed the city of Jenin and demolished the gate of the camp. They also deployed drones. Several Palestinians were injured during the confrontations with the soldiers. Imran Khan, live for us now in Ramallah, in the occupied West Bank. Imran, what more can you tell us about this raid into Jenin, which continued into the morning?
Well, it only came to an end a couple of hours ago, but this was one of the most serious raids into Jenin camp that we've seen in a very long time. Indeed, there have been more raids overnight than we've seen since possibly around October the 10th. This is certainly an uptick in the amount of Israeli soldiers on the ground going into various different places. Let me take you through Jenin first. That started around 2 a.m. when the soldiers went in. They fought their way into the camp. A number of arrests were actually made there, but then they brought in heavily armored bulldozers and they destroyed the gate to the Jenin camp. Now, I was in Jenin just 2 days ago where the Israelis mounted a similar raid and they dug up various different roads there. The Palestinians telling us who are living in that camp, this is simply to make life incredibly difficult. But within the camp itself, it seems that they are going after any kind of symbol of resistance, that gate being one of them. Also, they sent a heavily armored bulldozer into the hospital. Now, we don't know why that happened, but the Palestinians at the hospital, the youth who were just around there started throwing rocks at that bulldozer and then it retreated. So a very serious raid into Jenin refugee camp, but this also was replicated in Silwad, in Hebron and in other places. 4 Palestinians dead. At least 60 have been arrested, bringing the total arrested since October the 7th to about 1,690, but expect that figure to rise during the day. That puts the total around 6,700 Palestinians who are currently in Israeli jails. At least 1,800 of those are held without charge.
Imran, these ongoing raids, these arrests, what's this doing to the population there in the occupied West Bank? What are they telling you about how they are feeling right now?
Well, I'm telling what I'm being told, what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing personally is that the occupied West Bank has become this almost like archipelago of separation. It's little villages, little towns, big cities where Palestinians cannot actually leave because the Israelis are making it even more difficult than it would be normally for them to get around. Palestinians are being turned away at various different checkpoints. That's really not helping. The economy is taking a hit here. No one's coming into, say, for example, Ramallah, the big city, to do their shopping, to hang out with their friends at the various cafes and restaurants. Here, that is not happening. People are afraid. People are scared. But the protests are still ongoing. Even as I'm speaking, there was a student protest that just took place a few moments ago in Menara Square, where it was fairly sizable, but those protests are happening all throughout the day. Palestinians are very, very worried about what's going on in Gaza because they feel, and we've been reporting this for a long time now, that they might be next, that these raids are simply a precursor, so that has them afraid. But they're also watching those images on television. They're watching those images, but they're not watching them like you or I are, Laura. What they're doing is they're hoping for news of family members, friends, people who live in Gaza. And, you know, that has a psychological effect as well. And that's what we're hearing more and more of. I've been speaking to psychologists here who are saying the actual people actually looking for treatment now is also rising.
OK, Imran Khan bringing us the latest there from the occupied West Bank. Thanks very much, Imran.